What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Knives of the Round Table. My name is Marco, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Berg Blades Mini Slim. Now, the Mini Slim is kind of the second iteration or the second version of the knife that Berg Blades produced. The original one is the Berg Blades Slim, and I will show you a size comparison here. And it's a very interesting blade. It's kind of like this cleaver style sheep's foot reverse tanto blade that we have here. So let me give you a tour of the knife and then we can start discussing it. This version is in kind of this bronze stone washed titanium. It's got, like I said, this sheep's foot kind of cleaver style blade. The deployment for this one is through a thumb hole or a spy flick hole. You got the Berg Blades logo here. This is an M390. I'm trying to find out. It doesn't really say it anywhere that I can see. Let me see. No, but it's M390. This is a titanium frame lock. You've got an over travel stop. You have a mill titanium pocket clip. You've got a back spacer that kind of blends in very nicely with the scales. And I don't know if you can tell, inside of here, you can see Berg Blades right there in the back spacer. So, like I said, this is the smaller version of the knife. So I'm going to give you some size comparisons here so that you can see what the size of the knife is. The first size comparison here is going to be the Para 3. And this is the Para 2. So it's a very small knife. Okay, even the full-size Slim is not a large knife. It's a chunky knife. Like I said, it's a cleaver style, but it's a smaller knife. These are not large knives, which work very well for EDC if your EDC is more of an urban style EDC, right? A kind of open packages, like cardboard, those kinds of things. So that's that size comparison. It is a chunky boy. Let me show you the thickness of it. So it is thicker than the Para 2, even though it's a much smaller size. Now, if we compare it against the bug outs, it's probably a little bit better comparison, but not much better. That's the mini bug out, and that's the full-size bug out. So again, it's a small knife in this direction. Obviously, when you go in this dimension, it is, like I said, it's kind of a chunky boy. And finally, the size comparison that's probably that begs to be had is against the full-size Slim. Okay, so the full-size Slim is kind of a full-size knife, but even that is kind of for me, I wear large gloves. It's kind of a 3-finger knife, really, with my pinky kind of landing on this flat, and it kind of locks the knife in. Now, I can get 4 fingers if I get on this flat. There's this kind of curved area right here on the knife that kind of serves as a landing spot. And if I do that, then I can get 4 fingers on it. Now, the Mini Slim, it's kind of the same deal. You know, my fingers are certainly more cramped in this handle, and I really can't get 4 fingers choked up. Even choked up, I need to do kind of a 1 finger in this groove, 1 finger in this groove, 1 finger in that little area, and then the pinky in the back. So it's certainly a smaller version of the knife. So it's probably better for medium or small size hands, or if you're just wanting something that more easily disappears in your pocket. So let's start talking about this. So let's start with ergonomics. So in my large hands, this position of the knife is very comfortable. This position of the knife with the 3 fingers on the handle, the pinky on the flat, and not using this kind of semi-choil that they've got up here, that is very comfortable. This works well in a saber grip, and it works well in a hammer grip right here. You can feel the pocket clip. The pocket clip for my hand it ends up landing in the ball of my hand right here, so you can feel it fairly prominently. I'm not gonna say it's a hot spot. It's fairly rounded. There's no sharp corners on here. But again, this is a smaller knife that I don't think you're gonna be using for very heavy duty cutting. If you are gonna be doing some heavy duty cutting, I think that pocket clip is gonna bother you. So Ergonomics, okay for the size of knife, okay for the use. Not great. Again, the pocket clip, I think it lands in a bad spot in your hand, especially in the primary grips in hammer and saber grip. Now, cutting with this is actually really nice, especially for cardboard, opening packages or cutting things on a flat board, even like rope or stuff like that. This cuts really well. The utility of a sheep's foot blade with a point where you don't have to angle as much. When you have a point that tips up, in order to use the tip, you have to kind of angle your hand a lot to be able to use that tip. When you have this sheep's foot, the tip is like right there, so you can get into a package right away. It's very useful. For cardboard processing, it's actually really nice. Now, it's a little bit of a, like I said, it's a chunky boy. So let me show you the blade size comparison here. So it's thicker than the Parrot 2. Okay, so a blade that is thicker than the Parrot 2, and even though the blade is fairly tall, you have kind of a flat saber grind that, the flat carries to about, I'll call it 25% or thereabouts, and then the rest of the way, or 30%, and then the rest of the way is the grind. So it doesn't come out to as thin an edge, so it's not as slicey as you will get from a baguette or from a Parrot 2. It's just a smaller, chunkier knife. It's probably thicker blade than you need to for this size of knife. But again, because of the utility cuts that you can do with it, it's fairly useful. It's a flat grind. So you got a saber and then a flat grind the rest of the way. So I think for the use of this particular knife, of a small blade that, it's more of a, like I said, like an urban office type EDC, I think it'll do the job. It's a little bit thicker than you need. That's the irony, right? They call it the slim, and it's so chunky. Now, the action is actually phenomenal. It's really nice action. Like both the slim and the mini slim. Obviously, in my hands, the full size slim it feels better, just because my hand it's a bigger hole, and the anatomy of my hand being bigger, it lends itself more to the large version of the knife. But the small version of the knife is just very snappy. It's just really nicely dialed in. It still hasn't broken in quite yet. It's not drop shutty. The full size limb is a lot better in that. It's a function of two things, right? It's that I've had it more time, which it's broken in, and it's got a heavier blade. Now, also what you will note is that this version of the knife, I don't know for certain, but the slim they did in this kind of carbon fiber kind of bolster style knife, and it has a bolster lock, and the slim is actually a full titanium frame lock. So it's hard to tell, if it's hard to tell, but it feels like it's easier to disengage the lock bar on the full size slim. The liner, it feels easier to handle the liner of the bolster lock, I guess is what I'm saying. But I would classify the action as good. I would say that it fires reliably. It's one-handed for sure, for both opening and closing, and I enjoy it. I would say that if you want to fidget with it, I definitely think that you could. You would fidget a lot better if you have a little bit, probably medium hands or smaller. if you have large hands or extra large hands, I would definitely say that your fidget's going to be probably better with the full size Slim. Now, fit and finish. I'm not sure who makes these. I want to say probably we, but I don't quote me on it. I'm not certain about this, but the fit and finish is actually quite good. You know, there's chamfering everywhere there should be chamfering. There's not a sharp corner anywhere. You've got jimping where you would expect it, and the jimping is effective and yet not painful, which is really, really nice. You've got a lock bar insert that also serves as an over travel stop. It's running on bearings. It's the blade is this one's a coated blade. I prefer my blades non-coated, but this one, it kind of works with the design of the knife. You know, it's got the black hardware, and you know, it kind of works, right? I kind of wish it had a black backspacer for me, but I would say that the fit and finish is actually quite good. This knife, can't remember. I'm not sure what this go for. I didn't buy it when they had the drop. I already had the full size, and this is the one that I'm probably gonna keep. But I managed to trade one of my Mannix knives for this one because I wanted to check it out and review it. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask my son if he likes it to keep, but if not, this is probably gonna go away just because of the size that my hand is a little bit big for it. But the fit and finish is actually quite good. The reason I would sell it is not because I think that the fit and finish is not good. I would say that the fit and finish is quite good. What else? Airing of grievances. I do think that for both the full size and the mini, actually, you know what? No, for the mini, just for the mini, the clip is incorrectly positioned. You kind of need to have it either further this way or angled or something. I do think that it's I'm not sure that even on a medium-sized hand that's not going to be in the way. I think my airing of grievances would be that and I don't have many more grievances on this. I think it's a really nice blade. I like the aesthetics of it. I think it looks quite cool. I like the way it cuts. I like the way it handles. I like the action. I like the fit and finish. I wish that it had a better position of the clip, but I don't think it's a deal breaker absolutely for this knife. I think for the use that you're gonna have, I think it's gonna be good. Let me see. Can't find my ruler. Let me see if I can. Well, this is a ruler, not exactly what I want, but you know, you're looking at a kind of. I'm trying to see the zero is not at the edge. That's why I don't use this one, but I'm trying to get you close. So this is probably like a 2.5 inch blade. So I would definitely recommend it. I would say that it's probably more recommended for if you have medium-sized hands or small-sized hands, or if you're kind of looking for something that is small in just dimension. In the thickness, I think the thickness is very similar to the full size, but it looks the thickness, it looks far more proportional on this one than on that one. So it's not something that's going to disappear in your pocket. It's a chunky knife. But if you're looking for something that doesn't carry as deep, then this is probably your guy. Well, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. I think it's a fun little knife. And if you did, like and subscribe if you think I earned it. Until I see you again, you know where to find my content. Take care.